Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today we are going to be covering some pens. It is my 3-year anniversary on YouTube, and my very first video was covering a pen. So I thought, how perfect to make my 3-year anniversary doing the same thing. I ended up talking to Aussie Craft Cutters and had her create these little mini rollers for me specifically for this project. She created a bunch of different ones, but these are the ones I'm going to be working with today. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I have 3 different colors. I'm only going to do 3. It would be too long of a video to do all 5. So I grabbed my purple clay here. I rolled this out to my 4th thinnest setting. I want this to be nice and thin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just lay out any of the rollers. They're all the same size, and get an idea of how much clay I'm going to need so I don't kind of ruin it all with my leaf. So I'm going to go a little bigger than the actual roller because we could trim it up afterwards, but we don't want to put leaf on all of it. So just get what you kind of need. So that's about what I am going to use here. And then I'm going to lay this down on my table so it's nice and attached to my tile. And then I'm going to grab some gold leaf here. And let's see here. Get some gold leaf, and I have a bunch of it. Oops. Okay. I'm going to carefully take one sheet, and my sheet is about the length of my pen, so I know that's what I need. And then I'm going to carefully start pressing it down, and then take my blade and just kind of cut it, and then carefully put that off to the side. I'm going to get my pumpkin roller. So this has a bunch of different pumpkins and squash on them. And then I'm just going to roll it out like I would any of my other rollers. Okay. And then I'm going to get my tape. I'm just going to use my tape that I use for my resin. Lay that down. You can use any tape that you have. And then just kind of rub it. And most of that will come up. There we go. So now the only thing that my gold leaf has is inside the pumpkin, giving me all that detail. I'm going to take a smaller tape and just clean up the areas just a little bit more. And this will give it more of a clean look if you do it twice. Okay, and once you're happy with it, lift your piece up. Grab your pen, and I like to use the gray Bic pens. I know they're safe in the oven, and you always want to make sure you're taking your ink out. So just take your pliers and then pull that ink out. You do not want to put this in the oven. And then let's carefully start. Oh, actually, let's trim this up. So she gave us a little bit of extra. And if you actually go right to the edge, you'll see this line, and you cut there, you know you're going to get a really good fit to your pen. So I missed a little bit right there. Clean that up. So let's lay this down. Try to have it straight. And I'm going to try to make sure that my clay is as straight as I could get it. It doesn't have to be perfect because you could fix it. But if I could get it fairly straight, that's what I want to do. And you don't want to press down on it, because if you end up pressing down on it, what's going to happen is you're going to flatten all your stuff out. And we don't want to flatten it out. So I can see I didn't trim it perfect. So I'm just going to pull it down just a tad bit. Right here is good. And let me just get a little bit straighter line. And that should help me. And everything should line up real nice. And then take a tool and just slowly and carefully start kind of blending your line together here. But be very careful doing it, because you don't want to mush your clay to the point that it doesn't look nice. We want to make sure that all our stuff stays nice and even. Normally I would recommend kind of rolling it out, but then you lose the texture of the pumpkin. So we don't want to do that. Now I have clay that I can put over the top, and clay that's a little bit longer than this from moving it and stretching it. So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, go right to the tip, and start cutting around it to take all that little extra off. And then we're going to squish it. Squish. And then I'll just clean up the very edge, because we need to leave that open for our ink to go back in. But you see how careful I'm pushing everything in so I don't distort it. And then I just want to make sure that my lines look good. Everything's connected nicely. And then our top, I'm going to take a nice little chunk off our top. And then I'm going to pull that around as well. And start pressing that together. This way your clay is completely encasing the pen. And then look how beautiful that looks. Look over it. Make sure you don't have no air bubbles. I can see I have a little air bubble here. So I'm just going to check over it, poke it, and then just let that air out. And you do a light roll. Don't roll it so hard that you flatten everything out. I just want to make sure that my line is good, and it is. And look how beautiful. I really love how these rollers came out. So that'll be one pen. All right, so now we have our blue. I have that rolled out. And I am going to take my roller and just roll it like I did before. Nothing sticks to these rollers. Everything comes out beautiful. Now I'm going to take my blade, and right here at the edge where my design ends, that's where I am going to cut. Same thing with the other side. Go right where the design ends and cut. And take my ink out, measure this up. I like to always go a little bit bigger than I need to, and then lift it up. And sometimes it's easier to lift it up like that so you get a nice straight edge. I honestly forgot about it the first time I was doing it. And then we're going to take our clay and push it together. And do this carefully because you don't want to mush too much of your clay. So just carefully pinch it together. You can see everything lines up real nice. So now we just need to carefully get that all connected together without destroying our design. This particular one, I am not going to rub it closed because I know it will ruin the design. So I'm going to carefully lift the top. Kind of press it down and then start getting my tip here. And then that is what we will get. Now you can take something and carefully blend the middle together. I'm going to take my little poker tool here and just get the little edges here. I don't want to do too much because I don't want to ruin my design. So this you really can't see, and that will stick. So don't worry about it getting ruined. And then I'm going to take my Rub-On Metallic, and let's use silver. I'm going to get my silver, and then I'm just going to go right over my design, and this will really make it pop out. So very, very easy with a beautiful, beautiful result. And you want to make sure you're putting the metallic rub on after you put it on the pen, because if you do it before, you're going to really just ruin your whole piece because it's all going to spread all over and make it very mucky looking. So let me get the top. And there is our pen. So simple, easy, beautiful. Put that one off to the side. All right, and lastly, let me do my white. This is a really cool design. So let me show you this. I'm going to do the same thing. Roll it out. Let me get right to the edge where the design ends. Actually, I want to end it right there. Now, you'll see like it's kind of like a green color. That's because I used it on another pen. And let me see how much I will need. Let's cut it about right there. Let's get these all pinched together. You want to make sure your pieces are all pinched together so it all stays together and looks flawless. So it'll look like it becomes one, basically. Okay, and I'm just gonna carefully go over my seams very lightly. Make sure they are blended together nicely without distorting my clay. All right, so now you can see the design on this one. And what I am gonna do with this one is I'm gonna use my pan pastels. And the first thing I'm gonna do is get my light pan pastel. And I'm gonna kind of really work into all my little crevices. And yes, you will have some that comes off. This brush is perfect for this because it really gets right into all those lines. And then I'm going to take a wipey and just wipe the top a bit because I want to get some of that off of the part that's kind of sticking up. So just wipe the top. You're not going to get it all off, but you'll lighten it up just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to get my darker one with my finger and go over that. And hopefully we'll kind of get like a double shaded look. Here, I got missed in between those lines. So I want the outside to be nice and dark and then the inside to be light. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Okay, so then we got this. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna place those in the oven, but first I'm gonna show you, we have our basket weave, which is beautiful. And then I have a butterfly. Whoops, let me get this to stay down first. There we go. So then we have a pretty butterfly that we could put like gemstones and stuff like that in. So I'm gonna play around with these, add another tutorial for you guys. I just kind of wanted to show you the design. So we have a butterfly and then we have the basket weave. So I'm gonna do vines and flowers and probably little gemstones with the butterflies. So now I'm going to place these in my oven, recommended time and temperature, and then I will return and we can finish these up completely. All right guys, so my pieces are out of the oven. They're completely cooled off. I have two of them sitting off to the side. drying. I'm going to show you quick what the last step is going to be, or the last couple steps I should say. So you're going to get something that you can stick inside to kind of hold your pen, all right? And then get your Sculpey satin glaze. I'm going to get something a little bit better than this because that's not going to work. All right, that's better. And then I just like to kind of put my glaze right on there and then go right over with my paintbrush. And this is going to protect all your mica powders, pan pastels, your gold leaf, whatever you are using. It's going to protect it from getting rubbed off as the pen is being used. So you definitely want to use some kind of sealer if you use something other than just clay. If you're using just clay, you're okay. You don't have to have a sealer. But if you have anything like paint, mica powders, gold leaf, pan pastels, the metallic paint rub-ons, anything like that, they need a sealer. So just go right over it. And then what I do is I just put mine off to the side to completely dry. So you can see the whole thing is now coated with my glaze. I'll put that off to the side. This one is dry. Look how beautiful that came out. Is that not absolutely gorgeous? I love this pen. I love these rollers. I think they are fabulous. I'm so glad that I kind of came up with this idea of making little mini rollers for pens. And then you just take your ink and you put it right back in, and now you have a pen that is usable. And look how beautiful. These are definitely going to be a great sale. I sell my pens all the time. I only sell them for like $6, but I'm telling you, you can make a ton of these, and you could probably go higher. I kind of make all my stuff for my videos, so whatever I make, I sell it fairly cheap just to get rid of the stuff. But I mean, look how beautiful that is. Let me check the other one. This one's a little wet still, so I'm not going to do anything with that one yet. But let these completely dry, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're finished. All right, my pieces are dry. I'm going to put my ink in. Just push it in. And nice thing is you can replace these. So if you buy some other big pens and you don't want to obviously get rid of your design, you just replace the ink, which is fabulous. But look how beautiful this came out. Oh, let me turn on my other light. There we go. That's much better. Look how beautiful. I think these are fabulous. Right here you can see is the seam, but it blends in so nice with the rest of the design. So absolutely beautiful. This one reminds me of like a faux ceramic. Up here is a little bit still tacky, so I'm going to try to avoid touching that, but look how beautiful. I think this one is fabulous. I love this design. And then of course we have our beautiful pumpkin. I love this pumpkin. So I really hope that you enjoyed my anniversary video. I hope that you love the new rollers that, you know, I helped design. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll leave all the information in the description where you could get the rollers and whatever else I use. And I will see you all next time. Bye.